Hey there, it's Laura here from MakingCardsWithSun.com and welcome to another Saturday Sunday carding video. In today's video, I will be showcasing some of the Essentials by Ellen products to create a really cute and colorful card. So let's get started. I'm starting out with the butterfly stamp from the Up the Happy stamp set by Essentials by Ellen. I just grabbed some Neenah white cardstock and I'll be stamping that butterfly multiple times using some Memento Tuxedo black ink. So I'm just stamping my first butterfly, and then I took some masking paper and I stamped that butterfly twice, and I'll be cutting that mask out with my EK Success Cutter Bee scissors. There are coordinating dies for the stamp set, but I'm not using the dies to cut out that mask since it will leave a white edge around the butterfly and I didn't want that. So I just fuzzy cut that with my scissors. So I'm adhering the mask on top of the butterfly and then I am stamping the second butterfly. And since we use that mask, it will look like the second butterfly is behind that first butterfly. So then I am adhering the second mask and then I'm going ahead and I'm stamping my third butterfly, and since we use those masks, this butterfly will be behind the other two ones. So I'm stamping my butterfly again, using the mask again, just doing everything like I did before, and notice that I'm using only two masks, so I am always peeling them off and I'm always making sure that I covered up the two masks that are the closest to the butterfly that I'm stamping. So you really don't need to cut a whole lot of masks, only two will do. However, if you want to save some masking paper but you still want to cover up all of those butterflies, you can just use some printer paper and some removable adhesive. So I'm going to copy color all of those butterflies. I'm using R22 first, and then I am going in with R29, which is my darkest color. By the way, I am not going to show all of the copy coloring of these butterflies since I'm just using the same technique over and over again. But you can go ahead and visit my blog because I have a list of all of the Copic colors that I used for each butterfly. So I think that's just a better way to show how I did that Copic coloring, because otherwise my video would be too long. Also going to color a soft pink butterfly. I'm using RV000 as a base, and then I am using RV13 to add the shading. So this is my darkest color. Then I am going in with the medium color and I am flicking my brush to blend that dark color with my lightest color. And that will give me a really nice blended look. And then finally, I am using the lightest color to blend the medium color with the lightest color. And then it will be like one pretty blended butterfly. Also going to color a hot pink butterfly. I'm using RV02 first. Then RV09, this is a really bright pink color, but it still blends really well. So I'm using the RV06 to blend that dark color out, and I'm just kind of flicking my brush as usual, and then I am using the RV02 again to blend that all out. So I used three colors for these butterflies, but you can also just use only two colors if you would like to. So for the yellow butterfly, I am using Y13, and then I am just using Y18 to add my shading, and then I can simply use the Y13 to blend that all out. Just a really easy way to do some Copic coloring, and as you can see, you really don't need a lot of markers to get some nice shading. For the green butterfly, I use YG23 and YG67 to add the darker green color and to add some shading. And just blending that out with the YG23. And of course, I also had to color a aqua butterfly. So I'm using BG11 as my base color, and then I am using BG13 to add the shading. The BG13 is one of my favorite Copic markers since I just really love that color. So as soon as I did all of the Copic coloring, I grabbed my Wink of Stella glitter pen and I am adding glitter on every single butterfly. It was really hard to capture that sparkle on camera, so you won't be seeing it in the photo of my finished card. but it looks really nice and sparkly in real life. Then I grabbed the All Inside die cut set from Essentials by Ellen to die cut that bear, and then I also stamped the coordinating stamp. And the reason why I die cut first and then stamped is because that bear die wasn't only an outline die, so it wasn't easy to line that up with the stamped image. So that's why I had to die cut first and then stamp. So I'm coloring that bear with some light gray markers. I used NO as my base color, and then I am using the N2 marker to add some shading here and there. Then I am using R11 to add a little bit of blush to those cheeks, and I'm also going to blend that out with the N1 marker. So this is my medium toned color. For this bear I used 3 colors because I wanted a little bit more shading than for some of the butterflies. Then finally I am blending everything out with the NO marker, and this will make sure that all of these colors are blended really nicely. Then I am using this cute little heart die from the All Inside die cut set from Essentials by Ellen, and I used that to die cut a little felt heart. Felt is like a really hot product in the card making world recently. I think it's going to become a really big trend, so I wanted to try it out as well. I used some leftover felt that I had in my craft room, so it's not from a specific brand or anything. I think I got it at the local craft shop a while ago, probably years ago already. Next, I'm going to stamp a sentiment from the All Inside stamp set, and I am using the Hey sentiment since I thought that was really cute with the bear. So I'm stamping that with Memento Tuxedo black ink, and I'm coloring those letters with the Copic markers as well. I am using the same colors that I used for my butterflies, so you can also find these colors in the list in my coordinating blog post for this video. I was a little bit scared to color these letters since I thought that it would mess up the whole card since these letters are just so kind of small, so you really need to make sure that you're coloring inside of the lines. But I managed to do okay since the tip of the Copic marker is really fine, and so it wasn't any problem to color those letters. So I'll probably be doing that more in the future. Then I'm using some washi tape from Lifestyle Crafts, and I'm adhering that next to the Hey greeting because I wanted a little pop of black and white since that matches with the black ink that I used for the butterflies and for the sentiment. I'm also going to, I already adhered a strip of glitter on a standard size note card, and then I adhered the butterfly piece onto that card with some foam adhesive. I also wanted to adhere some coordinating sequins. I'm using some multicolored sequins from the Ton, and as you can see I am using my glossy accents to adhere those sequins, but I got the Ranger Fine Tip applicator a couple of days ago, and it's just really easy to adhere those sequins since the applicator really makes it so much easier since the glue that comes out is like really fine lines. So I really like that, and I also put some of that glossy accents onto the sentiment. So that finishes up my card for this week's Saturday Stamp Day card and video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye bye!